If you're working with a credit repair company and you don't know what to expect, then this video is going to go over the proper expectations that you should have when working with a credit repair company. And also, I'll be discussing some of the things that you, the client, should be doing while also working with a credit repair company. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kenny Johnson. I operate a credit repair company here in Montreal, Quebec, and we operate all across Canada, and we have clients in every province. If you need assistance with collections or you just want to have a chat about your credit, send us an email and we'll be more than happy to assist you. So to go ahead and jump right into the topic, typically when a client initially onboards with us, we're going to have to collect a lot of documents from them. We're going to have them sign the onboarding requirements. And one of the most important things is that we're not going to be charging our clients until work has been completed. And so typically what that looks like is if maybe a collection account was removed off of their credit report, maybe a late payment has been removed off of their credit report, that's when we're going to go ahead and we're going to bill that client. Now, when this happens, it usually takes maybe a few months. Sometimes it can happen in the first month. Every situation is different. We don't really know when it's going to happen. It's just more about the consistency. And so, one of the reasons why a lot of clients choose to work with a credit repair company instead of doing it themselves is because it can take a long time. If you watched any of my previous videos, I kind of discussed this and discussed how it could take, we worked with clients for a year. We've worked with some clients 3 years, and everyone's situation is different. Maybe you have, let's say, I've seen credit reports with 10 plus collections. It's gonna take a long time for that person to get back to the point to where they can feel confident in applying for a credit card and be approved. Right now, again, I do want to preface this with again, you can dispute collection accounts yourself. You can dispute. You have the right as a Canadian to dispute anything on your credit report that you feel is inaccurate or is not reporting correctly. But it is a lot of administrative work. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of documents to keep track of. It's really organization. Now, a lot of the clients that we work with, they are busy, they are professionals, and so they don't have the time to do this. I tell people all the time, a credit repair service is a convenience business, such as you don't have to pay anyone to detail your car, but a lot of people prefer to do it. They don't want to take the time themselves to do it. And that's kind of the same energy when you're going to a credit repair company, or that's the same mindset you should at least have. Maybe you've already attempted. And I actually encourage a lot of people to attempt disputing themselves because they see how complicated, they see how hard it is to actually communicate or work with these collection companies or to continue pursuing and pushing Equifax and TransUnion. It is not easy. It's extremely complicated. And so people do come to us because it is a convenience. They can pay us and then they can continue their life. And we provide them with those monthly updates. And so they know that they're making progress, right? But as soon as we onboard those clients, let's say we onboard a new client, we're going to go ahead and we're going to send them basically a breakdown of everything that we're going to be doing for them. We're gonna break down all the accounts that we feel as if needs to be disputed. And even before they're onboarded, there's a call done or taking place with our teammates so that we can get a good idea of what's a priority for that client and see what we need to address immediately so that we can go ahead and include that in the disputes if there's anything that maybe may not be showing up on the credit report or we believe is important. And so a lot of this stuff is tracked weekly, monthly, daily. A lot of it is tracked. A lot of it is updated, mainly because a lot of the credit bureaus, they update at different rates, right? So um, a lot of people aren't aware of these things. We're going to be sending out those dispute letters directly to Equifax, TransUnion, to the collection companies if you have any. We're going to be addressing the late payments. We're going to be addressing the inquiries. We're going to be addressing the collection accounts if you have a discharge proposal, a lot of these things are taking place on the back end. Now, it is a tough business because a lot of people don't get to see what we do on a day-to-day basis, but we do a lot of administrative work, a lot of administrative work. But the most important thing that you should expect from a credit repair company is just open communication. A credit repair company should at all times be able to tell you what they're working on, what they're currently disputing for you, and any updates that have taken place since you've been a client with that company. Those are the biggest responsibilities of a credit repair. Just open communication, keeping you updated, keeping you in the loop, and giving you just true expectations. Uh, In the very beginning, a credit repair company should always let you know that there's no guarantee that anything can be removed off of your credit report. All they can do is submit the disputes and keep you up to date on what has been successfully removed. A lot of credit repair companies should be leveraging consumer law, basically laws that govern all Canadians in pretty much every province, basically needing the, let's say, creditors or the collection companies to provide proof of debt. Most credit repair companies are going to be leveraging these laws. They do differ from province to province. Okay, in Canada, it's completely different than in the U.S. And so again, that's why it's extremely difficult, because a lot of people aren't going to take the time to go through their provincial consumer laws to see what laws they need to leverage. And then when they need to follow up, they're not going to take the time to go through that process as well. And so again, it's very beneficial when you can have a company that has a team to support you and keep you up to date. Now, as far as the expectations for the client, you're going to be receiving letters. You're going to be getting letters from Equifax. You're going to be getting letters from TransUnion. You're going to be getting letters from collection companies. And I think the most important thing that you should keep in mind when you're working with a credit repair company is that they are also helping in response to these letters. So when you receive a letter from a collection company, they may be trying to apply pressure. The first thing that you should do is not panic, not freak out. What's important is that you send those documents over to the credit repair company that you're working with, and you want to get feedback from them. They'll let you know the severity of the letter, if it is serious or if it's just a scare tactic. Because as you probably know, a lot of uh, a lot of collection companies do use this. We'll be able to let you know if you have any stall letters. So Equifax and TransUnion, they use a lot of stall letters. In some of my previous videos, I discussed this topic on how they say we're going to end all disputes. But we know that it's a stall. We'll continue to dispute, even though, and we'll let the client know this is a stall letter. You can just kind of ignore this, and we'll keep you updated from a month-to-month basis, right? So on your part, I think it's important that anything you receive in the mail, you need to let that credit repair company know right away. You need to send it via email. That way we're up to date. A lot of times we may need, maybe let's say a collection account has been verified, hard verified. They provided proof of debt. Uh, we'll let that client know, hey, you may want to go ahead and negotiate pay for deletion. Pay for deletion is that agreement that we always talk about, where when you pay that account off in full, it's completely removed off of your credit report. Well, it's very important that you're keeping an eye out for a response or a phone call or an email from that collection company. That way, when the offer comes in, you can go ahead and accept it, or you can let us know that you've accepted it so we can track it and make sure that removal has been removed. Or we can even look at the pay for deletion offer from that collection company and make sure that it's going to meet the proper guidelines to ensure that it's actually going to be removed off once you make that payment. So a lot of these things come into play. It can be a lot. It can be overwhelming, but that's why a lot of people choose to work with credit repair companies. But I think the biggest thing, if you're choosing a company to work with, you want to see their track record. You want to see that they've been doing it for a long time. Maybe they have a social media presence. How long have they been posting? Hopefully, they're not charging you up front. And you can see that there's history there, that there's been a long-standing history. They don't have just one or two followers. They've been doing it for a long period of time. I think that's the most important thing, and especially for Canadians, because this business industry is very common in the U.S. You want to get a company that is located in Canada. I don't have the only credit repair company in Canada. There's people that work and operate in different provinces, and I do believe there's going to be more people that pop up in the future because this is a growing industry. Um, but it's important that you work with a Canadian company that understands the provincial consumer laws, because things change and things are different here versus the US. Keep in mind, how is an American going to handle dealing with a Quebec collection company? Or they may get a letter responses in French. Like obviously we can translate these things, right? But it's different. It's a lot of things that they don't understand, that they're not aware of. They won't be able to address a lot of those questions, and it just isn't for Quebec clients. This is also people in the territories, things of that nature, right? Things are completely different in these different areas, and so you want to think about these things when you're trying to choose a credit repair company. But for you, your responsibility is just also to stay open in communication, provide them with any documents that you need. And then the last thing is extremely important that a lot of people mess up: keep your credit cards paid off. keep your credit cards paid off, keep your utilization low, ideally below 10%. I always try to push people to 1%, but ideally below 10%. This is going to help you the most because a company can remove all those inquiries, they can remove those late payments, they can help you remove those collection accounts. But if you're keeping your credit cards maxed out, you're not going to get the most out of what you're paying for. And so it's a true partnership. I like to tell people, our job is to help you remove those negative derogatory accounts off of your credit report. Your job is to keep your credit cards paid off because this is you trying to make a new start for yourself. And you're not starting off on the right foot if you're continuously having late payments on your credit report, new late payments that we need to address. If you keep your accounts maxed out, this isn't helping us at all. And so we want to start off on the right foot, keep our utilization low, and then I said lastly on the first thing, but lastly, we want to also avoid any new inquiries. Okay, because again, we're disputing this information. If you're adding new inquiries to your credit report, you're not doing yourself any justice. Creditors can see that you're desperate for credit. They can see every time you submit an application for a credit card, an auto loan, whatever it may be. So we want to avoid the inquiries. It makes our job extremely difficult. Hopefully, the credit card company that you possibly are working with, they'll probably share this with you, but you want to avoid applying for things. Maybe there's something that you're working on. You can reach out to that credit card company and ask them, hey, is it a good time for me to apply for credit? They'll let you know. They'll go through your credit report and they'll be able to let you know the things that maybe we want to wait on to get removed before you go out and apply again, or they can give you the green light and say you're good to go. Okay. But credit repair is extremely difficult. It's not easy. It takes a long time. And everyone that we work with, we let them know this. It's not easy. It does not happen overnight. And we actually try to avoid the people that think that it should happen overnight because it's not realistic. Because it took you years for you to put yourself in this position because you put yourself in that position. And so you can't have the expectation for it to be fixed in such a short period of time, right? So we're very transparent. We're very open about that. And we communicate that with all of our clients. So if you need help with your credit, maybe you're in Canada and you're searching for a credit card company that you can trust and help you, you can send us an email, info@kennyjohnsonuniversity.com. We'd be more than happy to help and assist you. And until next time, peace.